Hey yo, let's get into another episode of the jankityasspodcast. Right here with, I don't actually remember what we even talked about this time around, but this is the third episode of what I recorded when I was hung over as a motherfucker with some of my friends. So, well, I'll see what it is later, but after this week, it's going to be fresh material with me and Tom. For now, well, you know what? I will just let it play. So keep watching, keep listening, keep doing whatever you're doing. Unless you're watching, then don't do anything. Obviously, don't drive and watch. That's bullshit. You can maybe listen if you're watching on YouTube, if you know where you're going, and you don't need a GPS or whatever, something like that. I do that and we're scatting. And we're skilly bopping doo ba doo ba doo doo doo. Fucking Christ. Never mind. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I really hope my I think one of my mic cables might have fried or something like that. So I have an extender on this thing, so I can actually reach the port across my desk. So I wonder if that's it.
That might be it, yeah. Especially if it's a third-party one or a lesser-known brand. Sometimes those can fry out.
Good thing it was like $6.
Yeah, that might be it. That might be your thing.
Let's see. So.
Did you see the teaser concept trailer for the Star Wars Stories?
Mm-mm.
So they got
I don't know what that is.
So they got like 6 different anime studios that are each going to do like a Star Wars story, just like surrounding stuff in the universe.
Right.
And I think they're they got some big names from like some stuff that like have been done before. I can't remember any of them exactly because I'm not a big anime guy, but I remember being like, oh, I heard of that. I've heard of that. I've heard of that. And being like, oh, cool. I heard of that. So one of those.
Or if they're doing it similar to the whole, well, actually, no, never mind. I was gonna say, I wonder. Well, okay, I guess not. Never mind. I wonder if it's kind of the same as the what if thing they're doing with Marvel, but that's all just one studio.
Yeah, that's all one studio,
Yeah.
and as far as I know, these aren't like the what if's whole big shtick, right? Is that it's like alternate retellings,
yeah,
versus like these are just like I think just additional stories. They're just kind of adding it in a different media, and so like from some of the teaser, it looks like, oh yeah, they're totally going like one of them looks like it's totally along the lines of like classic, like Japanese like samurai honor stuff. Like that's what one of them looks like for sure. That kind of thing.
I was gonna say I'm actually surprised that they waited so long to come out with, or at least start to come out with something new for Star Wars, because I know they have a bunch of shit in the works or whatever, but
yeah, I mean, well, they've got the Mandalorian, which they're definitely going to keep going. They've got the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which is coming out, which is like that I'm so pumped for, because it's got Ewan McGregor in it. Oh, yeah. They've also got one for Ahsoka. Am I saying that right? God, I hope I'm saying that right.
Ahsoka or Ahsoka, something like that.
Yeah,
Who cares?
Yeah, scum. So yeah, her. They're also doing. Yeah, I think I already said Mandalorian, and then they're doing the Book of Boba, and like that. Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking excited for that one.
Oh, did you see? You see this thing about how they're Disney's like trying to retire Boba Fett's ship name?
Oh, the renaming it to Slave One.
Yeah.
And it's like, and yeah, it's again, people just point from it, and it's like, guys, once again, you're being utter hypocrites. If you wanted to retire Slave One, retire working with China.
Tire yourself, yeah.
Yeah, retire everything. Like, come on.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's.
I don't.
I was gonna say, I wonder if there's like a. You would think there should be like a statute of limitations for like changing old stuff, but I guess not. No, like a reverse public domain or something like that. But no, 'cause I remember I saw that too because whenever I was doing some of my articles earlier, or tried to,
Mm-hmm.
at least, because I also saw one where apparently whenever you know the Friends reunion that they did
Oh yeah.
not too long ago, apparently people were getting all upset and like, how come there's not more diversity?
It's like,
in
bitch,
this
did you
show?
know?
It's like it's the cast. They should,
Yeah, like,
yeah,
did you know when this show came out? You dumb motherfucker.
yeah. And they even had like other people in there with them because it was like a reunion, not a sitcom
Yeah.
or whatever. So like,
So they had guests and stuff. Like,
yeah,
Jesus, like, come on. It's
diverse
getting to a point.
guests.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like it's getting to a point where people are just trying to find something to be angry about because they can't contemplate the idea of like everything is fine. It's like they continually have to push the envelope and be like, no, we need to do more change, more change. There, and it's like, okay, do you want change because of what it brings us, or do you want change because you just like to keep things moving and changing and not set? Like, what is your goal here? Like, what are you actually like getting accomplishments from? Like, come on.
Well, it's not that. It's just that's like all they can do.
Yeah, that's all I'm good at.
Literally, yeah.
It's like what is it? Ryan Long on his channel had a whole sketch about what is it? Journalists who primarily wrote about Trump not having any work anymore and they don't know what to do with themselves. Like, man, I was one of the war heroes, man. Like, I wrote about his shit and I was there from the beginning. And like, you see him going into a bagel store. He's like, hey, do you guys have veteran discount or a job?
Well, because I mean that's like the same thing as whenever you're on a show and you have like the just like the random execs giving notes and stuff, because that's all they have.
Yeah,
that's all the power they have. Except in this case, it's not people being paid millions of dollars. It's just some fucking troll.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Now I got shit in my throat.
Nice.
Making loud noises.
Ah, man. There are times where super glue just works instantly, and then there are times where it's like, screw you, I'm water now. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Or works on everything else.
I know, seriously. It's like, you're sticking to my hand.
In your case, yeah.
I know, seriously. It's like, you're sticking in my hand, you're not sticking to freaking the thing I glued you to.
Let's see. God damn. Okay. I think that one got it.
You good? You good?
Died before our eyes. What was I gonna say earlier? Oh yeah, I am starting to get real work back here again.
Oh yeah?
Or venue work. We have our first actual show on the 30th.
Oh, nice.
Which will be a rave, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Everyone dead, COVID.
Yep. Well, no, I just figured like we're probably gonna hit like our fucking overdose quota for the rest of the year in one night.
That too.
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't look like it's like
big name.
A wild dubsteppy one.
Oh, there you go.
Arm & Hammer.
Oh, dude, that's House of Trance.
Yeah.
Oh no, Arm & Hammer's great.
So it'll just be a bunch of Asians. Then probably.
No, it's gonna be white chicks, dude. It's gonna be all white chicks and white dudes. Guarantee ya.
Oh, probably just all college kids then.
Yeah. Well,
So definitely plenty of
Armin's
movies.
been around. He's been around for like 10 years, so you might see some people our age because he would have been big when we were in college.
Ah. I just said that. Yeah, I actually that type of crowd. I remember the last. Well, based on what you're saying, I think like the last show I worked with that was fuck. I don't remember who it was. It's like Once So Not. If that sounds familiar.
No.
But yeah, no, I remember we had this one rave where yeah, it was just kind of like a house trancey kind of chill, a
Yeah.
little bit, but not that chill. And for whatever reason, I was like the only one in the barricade, since it wasn't really like a heavy active show.
Yeah.
But and they would do this thing where like the whole front would just get filled with smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So and I was right in the middle, so that there was a lot of times where it's just like, I can't see anything. And I was thinking like, well, I hope when the smoke doesn't clear, there isn't just, some kid, upside down inside the barricade. Like, couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But that was fine.
That's good.
I think I had like one kid pass out over the rail, but that was it.
Not bad for a night.
I remember I was I don't remember who I was talking to, but I worked the last time we had Marilyn Manson
Mm-hmm.
there too, back when he was
More
like
human than human.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, or less.
That's Rob.
Yeah, that's zombie. But no, he was. This was right after he busted his leg.
Oh yeah.
When the thing fell on him.
Oh shit.
And before everybody hated him, of course. But yeah, no, it was him, and then his opener was just like a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Like some they were just playing like rock and metal songs and stuff like that. But so again, for the opener, it was just me.
Huh.
In the middle, because I mean it wasn't activated or anything like that.
Yeah.
And like the whole front of the crowd was kind of older.
Yeah. Manson,
or whatever.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I guess a little more out, there was a couple of people like kind of started moshing around, because it's still rock and metal.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, I just keep like having like all these older people, start yelling at me like, you need to get them out of here. They're being rough or yada yada. But it's just normal moshing.
I came here to have my nice Marilyn Manson show.
So then Manson comes on, our barricade fills out. Literally within like the first 15-20 minutes, we had to pull all those people out because they couldn't handle it. It's like, you have no idea what's coming.
Yeah. You think this is bad?
Yeah. But yeah, no, actually well that's the first show at my venue is going to be at the end of the month here, but the first show I worked was last week. I ended up helping down at the observatory down in Santa Ana. It was Fools Gone Wild. Think like NWA, but cholos.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good time. That venue is kind of a weird spot too, because it's like in a business park.
Yeah, those venues were always so weird when you went to show it. Like I remember I saw Necrogoblicon in a frickin' strip mall of a show. It was like hilarious. It's just like this old place that moonlighted as a like janky divey metal bar. And that's where I saw them.
I think this was more of a. Well, they had their own. The venue was its own building, so they did have that. But it was like every other building was like just the standard white with windows office buildings.
Huh.
Type of deal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a long ass drive, and I remember on the way back, I started to get a little loopy because I was tired, but I got through it all right.
Nice.
And also, one of the nice things to kind of come out with that job with the pandemic is, since I've had to fill in for different stuff at different venues.
Mm-hmm.
So because before, like especially on the security side, like I know it was for whatever reason it was like impossible to communicate with the schedulers at
Oh,
different
really?
venues. But like now I directly know who they are,
Oh, nice. That is good.
and or like the general managers and stuff like that. And of course, it's all just one paycheck anyway.
Yeah.
So, which is good because like I know that there's at least a couple shows coming up at like downtown that I want to go to. Like I know we got Belasco has Carnifex at some point in October,
Ooh, nice.
and then they also have After the Burial, same month, which would be nice
Uh,
because
where is it? I forget where, but the Who's playing on Halloween night, and I would have totally gone to see them, but I know that I'm going to be busy that night with kids.
of
That
course.
would be a good show.
But was it that you want to talk about an older crowd? There you go.
The Who? No, not the Who. Oh my God, not
Oh,
WHO.
oh,
The Who, the band, the
that
Mongolian
who?
metal
Okay,
band. Yeah,
that makes sense.
I was like, older. They're just starting her out, man. I'm like, it did not even connect to me that that's what you thought I meant. That's pretty funny.
I'll just go out like, so play the mean pinball. Like, wait, what?
Oh, out here in the field. Is this Bob O'Reilly?
I should write him a letter or something like that. Maybe they'll do it. But I was gonna say, yeah, no, After the Burial, because it'd be nice because the last time I saw them was when I worked when they featured for Parkway Drive
Oh, okay.
a while back, and that was that was when all their sound equipment started to short out. So that was a bit of a interrupted show, but hopefully this
Interesting.
time it'll be fine. And then I know that they're also going to have Guar there too in October
Oh,
as
wow.
well. So I wouldn't mind working that. I'll have to bring a poncho for that though. And what's really fun is we're going to have in Hollywood we're going to have Limp Bizkit in August.
Frickin' Limp
So I
Biscuit.
definitely need to be there for that one. Apparently
Frickin' Limp Biscuit.
Yep. Apparently they've had a album in the works for like a few years now.
Huh.
But apparently,
I mean, hey, I'll
yeah.
listen to it.
But I mean, I guess Durst is a perfectionist, so it's kind of a GNR Chinese conspiracy type of situation, where it just takes forever to figure it out.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll ever. I did I ever tell you I did end up working Guns N' Roses a
Yeah,
while
I
back.
think you did. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I remember that.
That was a pain in the ass.
Oh, was it?
Well, fucking it was just them, right? No openers or anything like that.
Huh.
3 hours late.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
And then apparently they couldn't get Axel out of the green room until like 5 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Which fortunately I was not there for that part, but I mean the show went down at like 2 a.m.
That's the stupidest thing I've
Yeah.
ever. Freaking Axl Rose.
It's funny too because my one of my friends was like a big Guns N' Roses fan. Like he's just a fat fuck now, right? Like no, I don't believe you.
Yeah. That's impossible.
Yeah, little prima donna. I'm trying to think who else was kind of prima donnas. I know. Yeah, one thing I'm not looking forward to is having to deal with fucking entitled road crew.
Oh, really? Were road crew always entitled? Really?
Well, I mean, we would get well, okay, not roadies, but like we would get some shitty tour managers every once in a while,
Oh, okay.
right? And then
Yeah.
I think I know one that was bad was we had Kesha a while
Mhm.
back, and also usually those big names they always have like their own kind of security
Yeah,
person
detail.
as well with them. But yeah, the guy that she had ended up being a dickhead, especially towards the end. She had Avril Lavigne stop
Really?
by as like not on stage, but just like one of her guests
Yeah.
or whatever. And but they didn't get they didn't have like the credentials or anything like that. So her guard just kind of tried to walk her in and like I guess like got rough with our guy there that we had over at the artist entrance. But apparently like the next day it's like, hey, you're not working at any Live Nation venue ever again. So it's fine.
Shit.
Yeah. Which is
Wait,
like
they said that to your guy, or they said
no
that
to
that guy?
to her guy. Yeah.
Oh, to her guy. Oh, that's good. Sticking up for your guys.
Yeah.
That's good. I was afraid it was going to be the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, if you're putting hands on our staff, then it's like it's over.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Yeah.
And get fucked.
Yeah. But other than that, it was fine.
Yeah.
But I actually one that was speaking of like fine in my view, one that was kind of like that was whenever we had Lil Wayne a while back. Yeah.
No, that's Little John. Never
You're
mind.
thinking Lil Jon, yeah. He's more like, eh.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had Lil Wayne, and who he had like a bunch of people come up too. You know, it's like, this is my friend.
Yeah.
This is my uncle. This is my boy. He just got out of jail. Like, well, what's he doing here? But, no, so for that one, I worked.
He's dodging parole right now. It's like, what?
Yeah, right. But no, for that one, I was doing the I was on the VIP steps, like in the ballroom, which until later, that was a spot that we didn't normally have anybody at, at least guard wise. But yeah, and like as far as I knew, and everything went good, which was surprising.
Yeah.
Like it was Lil Wayne, there was like nothing out of the ordinary or anything like that. And then like the next time I came back to work, they were like, oh yeah, there was a massive brawl out front at the end of the show, but you missed that, I guess. I'm just sitting there like, oh, this is going great.
That's funny.
And we also literally had new uniforms the next show that I came back to.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, this and this. Get with it.
We gotta change up everything. Hey, that wasn't us.
You sure? Yeah, no, that wasn't me.
Okie dokie, let's take a... Am I gone? Yes, I'm on. Let's take a quick break. We're going to get into some articles, but first, it is new beer time. Fucking light's a little too much. Son of a bitch. Whatever. What I'm drinking now is 903 Brewers out of Texas, it looks like. Maybe. This is apple pie flavored there we go. Apple pie flavored Sasquatch Stout. This is gonna be a treat, I hope. Even though it is 10%, that's gonna do some damage. Let's see, what do these guys have to say for themselves? Yep, 903 Brewers in Sherman, Texas. Check them out. Shout out. And I usually try to follow all these breweries on my Multi-Murdy Media Instagram. Which, another point, actually, I'll bring up in a second here. Oh, fuck. I'm already got the hiccups, and I haven't even started drinking anything. I did have hot wings earlier for dinner, so that might be doing something. Okay. Apple pie flavored Imperial Milk Stout, so I think it's got a little bit of lactose in there. Oof. Pairs well with hand pies, pulled pork, and grandma's house. I wouldn't know because both my grandparents are dead. Or all four of them are. Before I was even old enough to drink. So it happens. I mean, my parents were old too. You know, my mom's, I think she's in her 70s now. But, you know, it happens. Let's see what this is about. Without, oh shit. There it is. Wow, that is extremely strong. This is going to take some time to get through. Luckily, I brought a whole roll of paper towels up here one day and just never quite took them back downstairs. Oof. Alright. So, Imperial Stout going into my handy dandy whatchamacallit horn here. I know it's not the best pour, but I started having a little bit running down the sides, and I was afraid of spilling all over my keyboard here, so. Okay, so what does this remind me of? Oh, what is that fucking liquor? There's this shit that people really liked in college, but I don't know. Anyways, it tastes a lot like a stout. It's Imperial, so it's gonna fuck me up later. And it doesn't really have like a bitter bite to it. Instead of that, there's like a little bit of an apple flavor, which is the point, obviously, but it's pretty good. So if you ever chance, check it out. I'm sure they got a tap room somewhere in Texas. So, you know, you can go get yourself a beer after picking up a handgun from Walmart and, you know, blowing up some lady's abdomen out for a good old-fashioned Texas abortion. Not related, not a sponsor of this podcast, but thank you to 903 Brewing out of Texas. The other thing I said I was going to get to is I've decided the easiest way to do end plugs, I'm just adding an end slate onto the end of every episode, which, it doesn't cover Tom's stuff as much. But, I mean, I don't know. There might be more along the way. I think I do want to eventually... well, you know what? Don't even worry about it. Some inside baseball Hollywood, yada yada bullshit. Which is more case for me because I actually live here near Hollywood. North Hollywood, technically. But, you know, who knows later on. What I am going to do now is we are going to get into some good old-fashioned post-apocalypse for you guys. That's another thing I need is a soundboard, but I got some articles for you. First up, let's switch up. A little bit of space. NASA set for attempt to fix Hubble's trouble. So unless you were born in the last, 10 or 15 years, you already know what the Hubble telescope is. That is probably the most successful deep space viewing satellite that we've ever sent up there, and it's really just it's basically just a tube with a bunch of lenses, and it takes pictures and kind of zaps them back down to us. And also hasn't left orbit at all. But I know this isn't the first time that they've had to go up and do something with this. I remember there was actually, I know there's a couple times where they've had to fix its turducken. They fixed its turducken so that it wouldn't, burn up in the atmosphere. And I remember seeing a while back, there was even like a whole documentary. They had to go up and replace all of the lenses. Or, it might not have been the Hubble. I want to say it was a Hubble, but actually that wasn't even like a degrading type of thing. Like I guess they sent it up, and apparently the whatchamacallit, like the thickness of the lens of one of the main lenses was like 1 millimeter too big or something like that. So it just completely fucked up the images that were getting sent back. So they had to go up into space and swap it out, and then everything worked. And I think this thing's been up there since I want to say the 70s, maybe the 80s. I don't know, but sounds like shit's going down again with the telescope. So hopefully we'll be able to fix it, and we can see even more pictures of stars that we will never get to anytime soon. And probably ones that we already have pictures of, but, who knows. Or maybe they'll add on some new stuff, and we can even see further, or something like that. I don't know. Hopefully they're successful, because that thing is... Actually, it's probably not worth as much now, money-wise. And there's a fuck ton of satellites up there, so... And junk. And speaking of space, that brings us into our next article. There is no dark matter. Instead, information has mass. Physicist says. Let's see. You know what? I do actually want to read a little bit. Researchers have been trying over 60 years to detect dark matter. Still haven't. Important. Many theories not supported by evidence, because you can't see it or anything like that. Mass energy information equivalence principle combines several different theories to alternative to dark matter. I don't know what any of that means, but apparently somebody thinks that it's something that we think exists that we don't actually know exists is actually something else. There you go. Problem solved. Now, in this podcast, we are affiliated with Tom and I are affiliated with a 40K club out here in SoCal, and we play a lot, and I love Warhammer. Now, one of the central one of like the main things about Warhammer is the warp, which is kind of like a sub dimension that exists that people use to basically warp travel, or for you people who like Star Wars, it's like hyperspace, traveling through hyperspace. But instead, it's a dimension that's completely made up of like the emotions of living beings, and the problem being is that they tend to coalesce into, demons and shit like that. So it's bad, very bad. But this, this isn't like implying the existence of another dimension or anything like that, but it does remind me. There's a lot of similarities, so it is kind of interesting, but this is also still just a theory, so I don't know what kind of traction it holds. Not much, probably. But let's move on. This one's both sad and funny. Children will die. Lego covered gun draws harsh criticism. What is this? I don't want to watch a video about a orangutan. So you can kind of see there. I wonder if there's a better image. No, it's just a bunch of Twitter things. But yeah, so you got this yellow, blue, and red gun. I guess you can just swap out the sights by popping them on top or some shit like that. And I'm pretty sure that somebody just like painted this thing up and, well, actually no, because that grip, well, that thing would hurt, right? Oh shit! I bet if stepping on a Lego hurts. Imagine having a Lego piece, basically a giant Lego piece, kick back in your palm. I'm sure that's not ideal, but what I was gonna say is that that grip looks pretty well formed there, but I'm pretty sure that this is just like some somebody's pet project. Never mind. It's from a gun manufacturer. Okay, Culper Precision received a cease and desist from Lego after offering up a gun coated in Lego blocks, the Block 19, as opposed to the Glock 19. Maybe. I mean, I would imagine that it's kind of useless because, I mean, well, obviously you're not putting anything onto the grip, the gun handle at all, right? This is a pistol, for those of you who are listening. And you don't want to put anything up top on the action or the slide or whatever it is. Because, like, I mean, unless you put, like, a couple of flat pieces, which, that's boring. But if you wanted to say, like, put a bunch of Lego men standing on the sides, I mean, they would all go flying off as soon as that thing kicks back. So it's kind of worthless, and, well, this whole thing's stupid. Honestly, as a lot of clickbaity things are nowadays. But, that's the world. Here we are. This article was a couple weeks old now, I believe. All right, let's move on to something a couple of little more interesting. I can't speak anymore. Up next, Marvel wants David Harbour and Rachel Weisz back for future project. Sounds good to me. I mean, they did pretty well in Black Widow, which I'm assuming Tom's seen by now. I mean, that was a couple weeks ago when the movie came out, actually, and he was going, what was it, the next day? I believe so. We'll see. I'll get his thoughts on that next week or whenever it is. And I would love to see him again. Also, they have come out recently saying that they since last time, one thing that I didn't do is I didn't watch the post-credit scene, and that ties the movie into the Hawkeye series that's going to be coming out pretty soon here, as well as that Contessa lady, which I think who's played by Julie Louis-Dreyfus, so they managed to rope her into Marvel as well. But I think they it sounds like they're trying to build the Thunderbolts, which, as I had explained to Tom earlier, that's kind of like the Marvel version of the Suicide Squad, where it's like all villains and shit. It's not as fun, though. I mean, then again, I guess the actual suit, it's really only the movies that were, like fun and ridiculous. Obviously, the comics are just kind of the comics. They aren't normally as humorous. But anyways, the point being is I would like to see these guys back. What's funny is because, like, I didn't actually recognize Rachel Weisz, or Weisz. I think it's Weisz. At the beginning for whatever, or I recognize her. I couldn't put the name together. And my big, one of my, not regrets. One thing that I do not like is, whoops, did not mean to do that. There we go. I see, okay. Sorry, I'm just I thought my window was a little too small, but it's not. One of the things that I never liked is that in the third Mummy movie, with Brendan Fraser, the one with Jet Li where they go to China, she was not in that. They had somebody else who did very well, but it just wasn't the same. And I mean, that's always how it is whenever they replace. Although apparently that wasn't the case for when they replaced War Machine. Speaking of Marvel, as you guys might remember, way back in the first movie, it was Cuba Gooding Jr. And then they swapped him out for Don Cheadle because of money. That was also back when it was the first Iron Man, and that was literally what. If that movie had tanked, there would be none of this. There would be no Marvel movies, like, at all. Or at least no Marvel Universe. There might have been, like, one or two things, but it would have fallen through. But, luckily it didn't. And speaking of superheroes, let's switch from Marvel to DC for our last article here. Jason Momoa returns to England for Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom shoot. That's number 2 that we're going to be seeing here. Now, I didn't really care for Aquaman that much, the movie. I mean, the character's usually written pretty well, depending. But, hang on. I didn't really care for the movie that much, but it was okay. And I mean, it's a superhero movie, so I'm going to see it regardless. I actually still have to see the second Wonder Woman movie. Maybe I'll do that after this, although... Or maybe not. It's 3 in the fucking morning right now. But... So yeah, at least he's coming back. I don't know what that means for the rest of the DC universe, especially since... Yeah, apparently the new Batman movie that they're putting out with Robert Pattinson as Batman, they sort of just made it a cop-out and say, like, oh, well, that's Earth 2 Batman. He's the Batman from another universe. Which I think it's just their way to say, like, all right, well, let's just do this other thing, and we'll just say it's this. And it'll be fine, and everybody will understand. Which, now, I like DC, never as much as Marvel, because the thing is DC, like, story-wise, or continuity-wise, I should say, for whatever reason, they just cannot seem to get their shit together. Like, there's always... It just doesn't work. Like, every time they like, the stories don't always tie into each other, maybe only vaguely. And every once in a while, they'll try to reboot stuff, like with the New 52, where it was like they just, like, scrapped almost everything and did, like, all new origin stories for everyone, or some people, except for the Green Lanterns. Like, all the Green Lantern series, they just kind of somehow continued into the new thing. It really doesn't make any sense, and it didn't then. And then coupled on top of, like, all the Warner Brothers bullshit that we've spoken about before here, it's just, like, it doesn't work that well. And people, well, in that case, it's all Warner Brothers, and it's kind of DC. I know a lot of people like to blame Zack Snyder for, like, the DC movies kind of being shit. But the truth is that's just people who don't like Zack Snyder. And, like, it just didn't work. And even, well, you know what? We've already talked at length about this. The point being is Momoa's coming back, and we're gonna get we're still getting DC movies, at least. So that's a somewhat of a positive. And, well, that is all the articles that I pulled for this week. This is gonna take me a while to get through, I think, which is fine, because I got some more stuff I can do. It's not as thick as I thought it would be, but for now, let's put that aside. And you aren't doing anything. You're just sitting there listening and watching and shit. I, however, am going to go ahead and let you go, and we'll get back into the rest of the episode with me and Tom. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Are you listening to this show and thinking, man, I'd like to start a podcast, but I don't even know where to start? Well, Buzzsprout has the answers for you. Buzzsprout is a podcast hosting service that provides a number of valuable resources to help you on your podcasting career path. For one, Buzzsprout offers indefinite hosting of all your episodes and allows you to host as much material as you want, depending on the type of subscription that you opt for. Buzzsprout also provides a means for getting your show hosted to every major podcasting platforms such as iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, you name it. In addition, Buzzsprout also provides various means to get your show monetized through various sponsorship and affiliate programs, links to other paid hosting platforms such as Patreon and YouTube, and your own personal newsroom to learn all the tips and tricks for optimizing your podcast for the greatest return on your investment. If you're hearing all this and you're still interested, you can go to my link below and receive an Amazon gift card for starting a podcast hosting subscription that you'll receive on the second billing period of your podcast journey. Everyone has something to share, and there's no time like the present. Join Buzzsprout today. Let's see. But yeah, things are starting to pick up, and of course we still have like the private events and filming and stuff like that, which of course nobody knows about because there's no tickets.
Right. But you at least got some work there.
It's coming back. I mean, I'm hoping that I'm hoping by like this time next year we're kind of back to where I was at right before the pandemic, because we had shows like almost back to back just throughout the month.
Yeah.
And I mean
big shows.
Yeah. Like I was easily pulling in like around $2,000 a month, like just under.
Nice.
And now that I also have the delivery thing and all that stuff too, it's just gonna go up. So.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it'll just get better.
Yeah. And which will be nice because like I thought I was gonna have to look for a new place here pretty soon, but sounds like we've got everything worked out for the most part.
Oh, good. Yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah, but it'll just mean that I'll be able to pump up my numbers for when it's actually time to get out of here.
Yeah.
So I do want to eventually just have my own place where I don't have to worry about other people's shit.
Yeah, that's always better. Yeah, I think I never ended up getting a chance to live in my own spot, but that was fine. I mean, I actually typically like living with people, and the difference is that I lived with the same roommate for almost like 5 years. So like we kind of knew how to work together and everything like that, so it wasn't that bad, Yeah. So I think that's part of it too, is just getting somebody you actually like to live with.
Well, that and I mean, I also have more than one roommate.
Right,
so,
I know that.
Yeah, you gotta keep everybody sort of on the same page and figure it out, which is a pain in the ass.
Oh, but,
no, I just don't like I just want to like have my own thing where I can like do whatever I want whenever I want, work out whenever. Don't have to worry about like waking up anybody or what have you.
Yeah.
And I also figured out that I don't even really have to worry about like finding a place with a washer dryer, because you can buy like your own mini one.
Really?
Now,
is that something that they're doing now?
There's yeah, you can get like a little washer that you just plug it into your sink
Hmm.
or whatever and stick it into the wall and you're good.
There you go. Interesting. I know that my in-laws have a mobile dishwasher,
Mm.
so that's what they do. Oh shit! There's a fly in the house now. God damn it! Deal with that motherfucker later. How did you get in here? Ugh, that's gonna piss me off.
It's like I was invited.
You, the pact was sealed.
Yeah, right.
Motherfucker, I didn't do no pact.
And in fact, I was even yeah, because I know I've told you before, but I've been like dicking around looking at Zillow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I did actually find there's a few places down in Hollywood over by the Palladium that are like not too bad. Like
Yeah.
1,500
That's not bad.
for Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
bad at all.
amazing.
Although
Yeah.
what's really fun is I looked at Manhattan a few times
Mhm.
as well, just out of curiosity. And it's funny because like you could actually find like one bedrooms near Central Park for
Oh,
like
really?
$100,000,
Huh.
like condos. And then literally in the same building is like a $60 million penthouse. So, which some
Yeah.
there's some wild ones up there.
Yeah, there's some like massive disconnects, or you find some place where it says like, "Oh, it's in this part of town. And it looks like this," and then you're driving and you're going to go check it out, and you're like, "Oh, they meant the bad part of that city. That's why it's cheaper."
Yeah. Or probably just smaller, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And actually, I remember, what was it? Yeah, I was talking to somebody when I was at my friend's last night. They were talking about how like especially down in like the Santa Monica area,
Hmm.
I guess like a lot of landlords are trying to really squeeze out the rents, but
Oh yeah.
it's not working out so well. It's like that the I
Shocker.
I don't know if you know like that complex on Main Street and Rose
No, I don't.
Avenue over there. They got like one of those things where it's like a CVS and then a bunch of storefronts. Literally everything is gone now, and like the only places that can afford it are like CVS and Verizon.
Yeah, the places that have like the ability to front the rent because they're a national entity.
Yeah, rents that doubled within the last couple years or
Good
something
freaking grief.
insane like that. But it just doesn't quite penetrate the skull, I guess.
Nope. Well, and the landlords don't care because they're like, you know what, this is a good enough location, or if they're smart enough, they're like, this is a good enough location. Somebody will do it. Somebody will come on by.
Yeah, there's still a limit to that though.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And
Right.
then
Like, I mean, you make the rent too ridiculous. Nobody will go there, and it doesn't matter how good your location is. But the whole point being that like they can get away with that stuff maybe more often than not, you know. And if they're smart, they can just bide their time and wait, and then they'll get the right people that'll come in and be able to afford it. I mean, I know that's the case with renting, at least a
yeah.
apartment. It's like, oh yeah, you can't afford this rate increase. Too bad, somebody can.
Oh well.
Freaking bullshit.
Well, that's a good way to end up with a empty building too.
I know.
So
Yeah, again, if they're smart about it.
yeah, no, 'cause I don't know. And I don't know if I told you about how like my family has like a small apartment building back home,
Oh, I didn't know that.
but
That's cool.
well, we're talking a town, so it's nothing fancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and now it's just my mom running it. But I've had to tell her before, like, hey, yeah, raising rents a bit is fine, but you don't want to price out the neighborhood,
Yeah.
which doesn't make a lot of money to begin with. So
Now, the best
Yeah.
thing about owning an apartment complex is the steady income, right? That's just
Yeah.
that's just what you need. steady income. And if you raise the rent, there better be a logistical or logical reason for doing so, because you're then jeopardizing your currently already working business model, right? So you got to be careful.
Oh, I think I
I
lost
know
you.
this from my years and
There we
years.
go.
Oh,
You're back.
I know this from my years and years of being a landlord. So just take it from me. I know what I'm talking about.
You saw it on Google.
Yeah, I read it on Google once while I was taking a shit, and now I act like it's fact.
She, yeah, and also like I've kind of helped her out a little bit with doing like advertisements for some of the rooms here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, some of the responses I get are, well, stupid.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, I'll move in here today, but I need to be $300,000 less. It's like, no, go fuck yourself. I want you to pay me to live here. No. Can you do this for me because of reasons? And no. Stop. Shut up. This is a business.
Well, no, most of the ones we have are like under 500.
Right, because of where it is.
Yeah. There's like one big one that's 900, but again, big.
And that's also translating for the fact it's like what, different state too, right?
South Dakota.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the price translates a bit differently over there than here.
Well, I'm sure there's even parts of California that aren't really.
Oh yeah,
ridiculous.
Well, yeah, it's you go to any there's lots of places in boonies of California. Like we were looking at like trying to get a bigger spot, get a, maybe like a third bedroom, or even get lucky enough to be able to rent a house, like a small house. And it's like, because of course everything is either too expensive or just like really, really crappy.
Or too far away.
Or too far away. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I can go find a place I can afford if I go an hour from where I am here right now. But at that point, I might as well move to a different state that has better taxes. Yeah. Like, seriously, like if I'm working remote and I can do that, hell yeah. Why not?
I kind of get the feeling that the whole remote work thing is going to start to go away again.
I have a feeling we're stuck with it, and people are going to die and then let it go, like myself included, because some companies will be like, yeah, nothing happened, go fuck yourself, go back to work. And some companies are like, oh, we just lost our entire workforce, or our entire workforce is threatening to leave unless we accommodate to this. Maybe we'll think about it. I mean, but even for example, my law firm that I work for, I'm not a lawyer, they're like, oh yeah, depending on what you do, you can totally be remote. We don't care. It's up to you and your boss and your God. Like, sure, whatever you need. And even then, like, I'm still planning on going in, like, 1 or 2 days a week. Yeah, because like for me, that's a bitch of a commute. Actually, it's in Century City. It's like I don't want to drive to that fucking every day.
Oh, I thought you were downtown.
I was, but I switched jobs.
Oh yeah, duh. That's right. Oh yeah, that's even further then.
Yeah, definitely. So, and I don't mind making that drive commitment, but I'm also like,
every day?
I don't want to. No. Not every day, no, thank you, because then I actually have to incorporate gas back into my budget again.
Yeah. Well, I guess. Well, what I'm thinking is like, they're definitely not going to be doing remote work for people in like different states anymore that much.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
definitely going to go away.
That they're gonna penalize you. So, for example, if I tried to move to a different state, they would probably argue to lower my salary because of cost of living and stuff. So I'd have to be pretty creative about either negotiating or bypassing that rule. Like, I know some people actually, what they'll do is they'll rent like a shoebox just to sleep in, but then their family will live in a different place that's much easier, so their money goes way farther. So like, for example, I'm like, let's say I'm paying $2,400 for where I live right now, which is not unreasonable to think of in Pasadena, in a 2-bedroom, etc. Technically speaking, I could find like a studio apartment that's super basic, is literally just a place to sleep with a locked door. That's $500 that I use. My family moves to wherever they need to move, and where we're getting a much bigger plot of land or a much bigger space for like $1,200. I'm paying $500. All of a sudden now I'm saving $700. And wherever they're living, groceries is cheaper, maybe gas is cheaper. It just depends, right? I know gas always goes up together, but like, it can change based on where you are too. And so like imagine all that, right? Like I'd be saving money. The only thing is just now I'm not living in the one place all the time. And some people do that. I know people who actually do that. Um, or flying is getting much more efficient and faster. I know there's like startups that are like going to basically be like, yeah, you can Uber a plane or a helicopter, and we can make it not insane for you to do that. And yeah, you bet your ass those people are going to be doing stuff like that, because the whole benefit of remote work, and this is what my company just literally said to me, is why are we not hiring the best people we can get, period? Because we say the job is in this office. Like, if the job is in Miami, but the best guy for the job is in New York and he can't leave New York, then let's just hire that guy. Who cares? Like, right? Like, and that's kind of the mentality that they realized when they were in the pandemic and they started getting, like, they started doing well and having successful, and like their staff was outperforming like crazy. They're like, oh yeah, this actually makes a shit ton of sense if we kind of just do that. And so I actually think that it's gonna be a bit of a transition, but I think we're gonna see not only remote work here to stay, but it's gonna change the game. And you're gonna see companies just outperforming other companies. And the thing that will always be consistent is that they offer remote work or they offer uh, good pay regardless of where you are. Because they have, hey, bottom line, regardless of what state someone's living in, this is the money I got to pay for this job, generally speaking. So let's pay somebody this generally speaking money wherever they are. Who cares? Because I'm going to have to pay that to get somebody who's not as good in my market versus paying somebody away from me. And it's like the whole reason why jobs start, or is it like certain jobs started going to China and India because it was cheaper to send it there. But it's like the halfway house of that. It's like, well, I still pay something of an average of what I was going to be paying, but now I'm paying somebody like somewhere else, but they're still U.S. national, and so maybe that fits with what my business needs are. Maybe it doesn't. Like, at that point, you could break down the example, but I think we're in for something different, my friend. Different. I'm all about that life, so fine by me.
Well, that's a good thing, is it doesn't really affect whatever I'm doing right now. So
Yeah, you don't got to worry about it.
yeah, not
Now
that
you're gonna
much.
have to, unless there's like Uber Eats Air, or then you got to get your pilot's license.
Well, I think that would just be a drone.
Yeah, I know. Actually, at that point, well, then you got to get your drone certification.
Yeah, right. Or like, I don't know if you've. I think that would probably be better than those stupid little ground coolers things that they
What do you
have that
mean?
roll around. Have you seen those?
No, what is this?
Like the little robots.
No, I have not seen this at
Where
all. What are you talking about?
there's like at least a couple companies that it's like a cooler thing on four wheels, right? And
Okay.
that I guess you like just load it up, and I guess it locks or something like that. And like you can get your own to just sort of like follow your phone signal around
Wow.
or something like that. But then every once in a while you'll see one of these just like rolling down the street by itself. Like I've seen them out in Hollywood a couple times, and then which of course freaks out all the homeless people.
Oh yeah.
They're
They're like, I knew it. The
"Oh!"
government's here.
Yeah. But yeah, just like a little
Dude, it would
rolling
freak out.
wagon
Like
for.
it would freak out normal people. Like, I'd never heard of that. I would have been like, what the shit is going on?
Yeah, here we go. And yeah, I see. I think those are not the best idea because it's too easy to fuck with them.
I feel like, yeah, just all you have to do is just bust it open and rob it.
Well, no, just like as it's rolling along, just take like a big stick or something like that, and just kind of stick it between the wheels and walk away. Just
Oh,
sitting there
you're
like,
just thinking, You're just thinking of like causing
yeah.
chaos kind of a thing. Oh,
Professor Chaos.
yeah. Professor Chaos.
Yeah.
Professor Chaos.
Yeah, or like well, I know whenever it gets stuck, apparently they they start like really loud.
Oh yeah, so that way
So
if you're actively trying to rob it, it's like a car alarm.
or even if it just like falls over
Oh yeah,
or something
probably
like
makes
that,
it.
which
They probably have like roaming techs who are like, oh, okay, I got a ding on a bad unit. I'm gonna go fix it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of went under already though, because I haven't really seen anything about them anywhere.
Yeah,
Cause
or it could have been a test concept, just like, hey, let's run this company for like 5 months and see how it works.
true, because like I remember the ad that I saw for them because they like I said they have personal ones. I guess that
Huh.
you can buy and just sort of like roll around with you.
The
And
personal ones make sense, actually, to me.
but I just remember thinking because it was like a couple guys walking along the boardwalk and they got this little robot following them around. like how easy would it be to just like you said sneak up, jam one up, and let it get stuck, and then they just kind of walk off like, oh my god, where's my robot?
Yeah,
With all my stuff.
I know.
But,
I know that is like, I mean, that's one of the things that people bring up about drones, right? Is like, oh, like drone people will just like shoot them down or mess with them or something like that. And it's like, yeah, maybe a little,
definitely, yeah.
but like they're also drones are also in the air, so it's like a little harder to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, if you could, if you made something that like worked on like a, like a rail or a track system, that would be different.
Yeah,
I feel like it'd be more accepted, and
but then you have all of a sudden this whole infrastructure you got to build.
yeah, well, it's gonna have to do it sooner or later.
I was part of the drone train infrastructure team.
Yeah, right. It's like the 30s all over again.
I know, seriously. Just hopefully without the Boxer Rebellion. Wait, no, that was earlier.
um, fuck. What was I gonna say? I just lost it. Oh, whatever. Oh, let's see what else. Oh, speaking of China,
China.
I did see a thing. I don't remember why I wrote this down, but apparently they're like not accepting cryptocurrency.
Yeah. So the reason
Something
behind
like
that is because one of the things about cryptocurrency that people have a problem, and by people I mean governments, is that you can't control it. There's no way to like control interest rates or what happens with it or print it or whatever. It's like literally it exists like outside of anybody else except the consumer and the buyer, right?
Yeah.
And even when like the devs create something, they may build something where they rack a fee, but most good cryptocurrency places are just like or most good cryptos are like, oh yeah, if there's ever going to be a change to how this thing works, the developers have no control over it. It has to be voted through people who own the actual cryptocurrency.
Assuming they can.
Assuming they can,
Yeah.
right? And so basically, yeah, the big problem about cryptocurrency is you can't control it as a government, and so that's why China was like, nah, no crypto, boys. But the thing of it is what most of the news doesn't tell you, because financial news is very anti-crypto right now. Most of it is, because guess who they're getting paid by?
Not crypto.
Exactly. And so one of the things they're not really telling you is that this is also on the heels of China trying to start its own cryptocurrency that it can control. So they created something that is basically looks, walks, acts, talks like a cryptocurrency, except it is under their control, that they can manipulate and manage, stuff like that. So it is something that they have control over, because they basically wanted to get rid of one of the central tenets while basically catching on to the potential. And the funny thing is that when you do it that way, you also just completely deny the whole point of the damn thing, which is to be completely independent and amoral of any system.
Actually, I think I remember. I do remember the thing now that I saw was that or the bit of news that I had seen is because I guess they like raided and shut down a huge Bitcoin mining
Oh yeah, when they
thing that
said
they had out there. Yeah,
when they banned it, that didn't mean people stopped.
yeah, yeah. No, they Chi-Comm that to hell, I guess. I wonder. I do kind of wonder if I'm kind of surprised that like the Chinese Communist Party. I wonder if it's ever going to go the same way as the USSR.
I don't know. I think it would be hard to say that is because they're like first off not truly communist in the definition of the same way that the USSR was,
Right.
from my limited understanding. So they do things a bit differently, and simultaneously it's more like
That's one way to put it. That's a
yeah, they
nice
do.
way to put it.
I know, right? Well, it's the most accurate way I can put it. They do things a bit differently, but also it's something where along the lines of like they have a lot of history to look back on and be like, okay, let's not fuck this one up. And ultimately, it really is more like a dictatorship. I feel like it's more truly accurately a dictatorship than it is a communist society, which is hilariously what pretty much happens to every single communist experiment that's ever happened.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned too, because I actually just watched last night on Netflix The Death of Stalin, and it's kind of a comedy, but it's a historical comedy, and the way that they portray these people living in Russia is like kind of shocking because of just, oh yeah, that's actually what happened. Like people just getting killed all the time because like, oh, you were an associate of a known traitor, you're dead. Oh, like when Stalin dies, they're all like, everybody that was part of his inner circle, even like around people they know, are so happy he's dead now. They're like, oh man, Stalin, we miss him so much, and this and that and blah blah. And it's all about presentation and what you say and the face of things.
Yeah.
And it's like that's creepily similar to a lot of things. It's like it's not about what you actually believe; it's what you say in front of other people that is going to make it so you live or die. It's a funny
I'd
movie.
imagine that would almost make it even more. That would almost make the two even more similar. I would
Oh,
imagine because if
well,
yeah,
that's a very common property, right? Of communism is it's everything for the party. It's all about the
failed
party.
authoritarianism. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about keeping the company, or, the company, the party line, and following that to the letter, and don't you dare speak against it or have any other opinions, because if you do, that must mean you're a traitor, right?
Oh yeah. I guess.
I think economically they handle things differently. That's what it
True.
is. I think there's a bit of a difference there.
Yeah, they give all their money to the U.S.
Yeah,
for now.
on interest.
Yeah, I guess as long as they don't try to start a real Cold War, I guess.
It's they make more money just holding us over a barrel.
True. What time is it?
I
What do you think?
mean, I'm good if you're good.
Yeah, I'm still pretty worn out, so I'm getting there too. But
Yeah, I'm starting to get pretty hungry, so I need to start rustling up some grub before I go see Black Widow tonight.
there you go. It's a good one. You like it.
I'm looking forward to it, especially because you amped it, so I'm excited.
I almost want to see it again later,
That
though.
makes me even more excited.
But I still got Fast 9 in the way, so
Well, you can't
it's gonna
skip
have to
out on
wait a little
family.
bit. Yeah,
Can't
right.
you can't miss out on family. I keep doing a Vin Diesel or Sylvester Stallone voice for him. I can't. I haven't heard Vin Diesel's voice enough to do it well. You can't
It's
skip. I just can't help it.
it's hard to get down there.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like you got to get real deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the guy was able to pull off Groot without much tuning. Yeah. Which I was gonna say one thing that's I still really can't connect Bradley Cooper to Rocket.
Oh, I totally can. I totally can. And the reason is because of Silver Linings Playbook. Because he has a very similar accent or style of talking in Silver Linings Playbook. But he does a very good job of sounding different enough where there are times I'm listening to Rocket and I'm like, I don't think it's Bradley Cooper. Like when I first heard it, I was like, that's Bradley Cooper. But then he did the voice so well and the character so well, I didn't think of him as like, I thought, oh, that's Rocket's voice, not like, oh, this is Bradley Cooper's voice. You know what I mean? So he did a good job there for sure.
Well, I wonder if I wonder if they actually. I would assume they actually edited him like a full octave higher or something like that. Because I mean that's where it really is for me. Because obviously Rocket's voice is like way higher than Cooper's is normally.
I think that might be it. They might pitch it half an octave or an octave above. I could see that.
He kind of did like the Britney Spears thing with himself.
What do you mean that?
She had she was like made to talk like this, and not in her normal voice.
Oh right, because because it was the princess image.
Because abuse, but
yeah, because oh my gosh, talk about memes, right? I saw this super sad one where it's like, America, we want you to free Britney, and then it's the Pawn Stars guy. He's like, best I could do is Cosby.
Best I could do is Cosby.
That
one's some bullshit too.
Oh yeah,
or my other favorite thing about that.
Oh yeah, I mean, the thing of it is, legally, it completely makes sense.
Yeah.
Why he's being released, it completely does. But motherfucker, that guy should still be in jail. Like, God, and I know he's like Michael Jackson, where he has his like perma defenders who are like, he did nothing wrong, but it's like, dude, that guy is a fucking piece of shit. But like, oh man, that was another great meme where it's like Cosby was healed through the power of prison pudding.
Yeah.
Because it showed him going to court and he's being helped up. He's got a cane. He's got like a blind cane. And then he walks out of prison and he's just like, and it's like, he looks like he could go run a 5K. And it's like, it's like when Weinstein was going to court, he was like going in on a walker. And it's like, dude, that just makes me want you to hit you with it. Like, piece of shit.
I think in his case, he is actually fucked up, I think.
Oh, Weinstein actually is an evil piece of shit. Like, that is beyond.
Well, I meant physically.
Well, I like to think that the devil works in various ways, but I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, right. The devil. I didn't do any of that shit.
Yeah. Devil's like, hey, why'd you put that on me, dog? Like, that wasn't me.
Like, I've just been sitting here this whole time.
I'm just trying to get kids to listen to Pantera, and that's like pretty much all I do right now.
It's like, you can't pitch to Johnny. I'm Johnny. But no, because Weinstein, like, I know he has like gangrene of the dick, for example. No, literally.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, like there's basically nothing there.
Good.
And and I know he caught COVID in prison too, so he got to deal with that.
Yeah. Well,
like I said, life's a bitch.
Life's a bitch.
And then you die. So I think that is where this recording is gonna die.
Yep. Yeah, on that very positive note that you should take to your home and loved ones.
Yes. So yeah. Alright, yep, done.
Nice.
Maybe.